emphasis on and creating generational wealth, that's when we know that we've like made some real impact. When we start seeing Black communities thriving and not just surviving, then we've really done our job.
Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon. So I'm Erin Horne McKinney, and thank you all so much for coming today. What I hope you're seeing from this is that we're creating a movement, right? During the spring break time period, many of us are returning from spring break. I had the opportunity to go to Memphis, Tennessee, which is where my family is from, and go to the National Civil Rights Museum, which I've been to many times, but of course there's some new pieces to that museum that have been added. One of which is where they really talk a lot about where Martin Luther King was in his movement right before he passed, which was the Poor People's Movement. If anybody's read about that or familiar with it, I mean, he was really getting ready to take charge and really address economic transformation for the Black community. And that's really what we're picking up the charge here from, right, is working not just across HBCUs and working across the country as partners, as collaborators. And that's what makes this extremely unique, which you've heard numerous times. And it's really because what you've also heard numerous times from Kendrick and from Dee is because it's trust. It's about trust. HBCUs carry trust in Black communities. All HBCUs are based in Black communities, and therefore, who better than to be the thought leaders in how we create and be economic drivers in their communities to make real change happen. But I don't do this work alone. I'm very honored to have the opportunity, who you also saw in the video, is Dr. Johnny Graham, who serves as our associate and regional director based at Howard, who's gonna come up with me and share some words as well. And of course, everybody loves in the video is if we're gonna keep it real, right? Because we are keeping it real. Come on up, Dr. Graham. This work has already launched and started. There's a lot more to come, but I want Dr. Graham to share some of the work that has just launched just in the last few weeks. And then there'll be some announcements at the end of our presentation today that I'll also share.
Good afternoon, everyone. It feels great to be here. I was telling some folks earlier, I literally grew up 5 minutes from this campus, went to Northern Appold for pre-K, nursery school, so really good to be back home. I'm really excited to be a part of this initiative to impact Black entrepreneurs, not only here in Baltimore, not only in DC, not only on Howard's campus or Morgan's campus, but around the country. And even though we're just launching, this event is kind of a part of our national launch and regional launches. We've already kind of gotten to work to impacting ecosystems of Black entrepreneurs around the country and launched a few different programs and initiatives to provide funding, access to capital, and just further opportunity to grow ecosystems for Black entrepreneurs. So I did want to share with everyone today a few of those initiatives and the impact we're already starting to make across the country. One of those initiatives being our Entrepreneurship Education Innovation Grants program. That program in particular offers $25,000 grants to HBCUs around the country to help grow their ecosystems, whether that be to develop an entrepreneurship center on their campus, to develop non-credit courses to help entrepreneurs in their communities, to develop programs and workshops to provide further instruction, further mentorship to Black entrepreneurs, and even to have pitch competitions and pop-up shops like you see today for student entrepreneurs on their relative campuses. So I did want to acknowledge our initial recipients for the Education Innovation Grants. We've already announced and awarded 10 HBCUs around the country through that program. Again, each of those schools getting $25,000 to help enhance their ecosystems. It's not $25,000 in total, but $250,000 in total, and looking to award even more. So I did want to acknowledge these 10 HBCUs. South Carolina State University. Let's clap it up for South Carolina State. Elizabeth City State University. Fayetteville State University, keeping it in North Carolina. Norfolk State University. Right here in Baltimore, Competence State University. Virginia Union University. In South Carolina, Benedict College. And again, this is a national initiative just to show the reach. The next school, Southern University. In Texas, Prairie View A&M. Again here in Maryland, Bowie State University. And those are 10 HBCUs. Again, the funding will be used to impact their ecosystems to help not only impact student entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs in their community, Black entrepreneurs in their community. So really excited to get that particular initiative off the ground and running, and we're looking to award even more schools very soon. In addition to that program, we also recently announced and awarded what we call our Faculty Fellowship Program, which is both at this point a national and regional program, which really serves to support HBCU faculty members that are doing research and scholarship relevant to understanding Black entrepreneurs and the ecosystems and best practices to support Black entrepreneurs. And so we did announce our initial faculty fellowships here at the National Center, but then I believe Morgan will be announcing very soon their regional center faculty fellows. With our national faculty fellows, we award $10,000 stipends to these HBCU faculty members to do further research to develop an understanding of ecosystems to impact Black entrepreneurs. And I'm going to announce a few of our National Center faculty fellows, and we do have one from Morgan, so I'll announce that one last. But just want to acknowledge our faculty fellows, our initial faculty fellows. We have Dr. Dayo Oyele from Bowie State University, assistant professor in management. We have, we can clap it up. All right. Dr. Wendy Edmonds, assistant professor of management, again from Bowie State University. Dr. Akena Uzbekam, associate professor of management from Howard University. Dr. Charlisa Holloway Edelin, chair of the Mass Communications Department at Delaware State. Dr. Michael Obolu, associate professor of management at Howard University. Dr. Venetia Ducher, associate professor of finance at Howard University. Dr. Tracy Harrell Dunn, Dean of the School of Business at Benedict College. And then here from our very own Morgan State, Dr. Gulshan Javadian, Associate Professor of Management. Yep. And again, each of those faculty members at those respective HBCUs will be getting a $10,000 stipend to further their research and understanding the ecosystems and best practices to impact Black entrepreneurs. I know Morgan will be announcing very shortly their regional faculty fellows as well. So really, again, this is a multi-pronged approach to building stronger ecosystems for Black entrepreneurs around the country. And then lastly, I'd like to announce a new initiative that literally the application link just opened this week, so it hasn't even been fully announced, but we're going to share it here with you all today, what we're calling our HBCU Startup Scholars Program. So beyond just impacting entrepreneurs in the community, beyond just impacting faculty, we know that on this campus and many other HBCU campuses, there are a lot of really just very creative, very determined, very ambitious student entrepreneurs. At Howard, we see it. We know it's here at the pop-up shop here at Morgan. We have students that are just brilliant, really starting and launching their own ventures as freshmen, even coming into college. They already had their business off the ground. So we wanted to develop a program to really help support those HBCU students around the country that are entrepreneurs and developing their ideas, to provide a network of not only supporting them with mentorship and workshops to help them in scaling their business, but providing financial support to help them in matriculating and developing their education while being entrepreneurs. You know, oftentimes people may say, well, if you want to be an entrepreneur, why go to college? Well, we see here at Morgan just the infrastructure and the systems in place to help support student entrepreneurs. So we want to make sure that there aren't further financial barriers that may prevent students from having to maintain their education while starting and running their businesses, so that it can benefit from the resources that are on this campus and on many others. And so that HBCU Startup Scholars Program will offer $10,000 scholarships to HBCU student entrepreneurs around the country. That application link is live. So for the students that are here, for just anybody affiliated with HBCUs around the country, you can visit hupncenter.org/startup scholars. It's on our website. To complete that application, the applications are due in mid-May. I believe that's May 14th. So make sure if you're a student entrepreneur at an HBCU or know one, have them apply to that program. We're really looking forward to launching that as well. And I know we'll have more announcements later, but that's all I'll have, and we'll get to our panel.
Thank you. Dr. Graham is absolutely amazing, and I have the pleasure of working with him every day. And so that not doing this work alone, we are building amazing teams across the country. Each center, as we've talked about, will have a regional director. So Dr. Graham serves as the regional director at Howard. We've named a brand new regional director at Texas Southern. I think there's a new regional director that's about to be announced at Clark Atlanta. And then the regional lead here at Morgan State is Dr. Mary Foster. And so does amazing work. And we don't, like I said, we don't do this alone. And I just really want to acknowledge that the individuals that were highlighted in the beginning from the deans at each of these schools, of the business schools for each of these institutions, and Dr. Foster and others, they've actually been meeting for almost 3 years virtually. Okay, I just want you to understand this initiative just didn't start today, right? This has been going on for quite some time. It was a lot of work, a lot of working with PNC to figure this out. How can we really solve this huge problem and make sure that we actually have impactful results? So I want to acknowledge all those individuals who participated in getting this up and going, because what we're doing here is, you know how they say we're building the plane while flying it, right? Well, I like to tell folks we are building a rocket ship while flying it, and we're about to go into warp speed, okay? So we're going to jump into our panel. I'm going to welcome Dee back up so she can introduce our panelists.
All right. All right, another round of applause for this amazing culmination, launch, and celebration of Morgan Celebrates Innovation. All right, so for our discussion, I am going to invite to the stage now Jay Pesante, business strategist and tech founder of Spotlist, Inc., and CEO of Fashion Entertainment Media. Round of applause. Hi there, gorgeous. Is it Jay or Jay? Jay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. And then I always get excited when I see young entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, business entrepreneurs, and folks who look like us. Always excited. And then I'm going to invite, let's see, we have Chico Conway, CEO. Actually, where's Chico? Is Chico here? Let me just see. My apologies. All right. I'm sorry, Matt Conwell II, founder and managing partner of RareBreed Ventures. A round of applause for Matt. And then Morgan, we have Morgan Poole-Brooks, CEO of Competence Consulting Company. A round of applause. And then Jessica Hebron. Jessica is here, Chief Program Officer at Arts for Learning, Maryland. She's an MBA candidate here at Morgan State University, the Graves School of Business, and she looks so amazing as she comes. And so a round of applause for all.
Thank you, Dee. So we're going to just jump right in. It's so interesting as you look at this panel. Many of the panels that I go to when we're talking about entrepreneurship, it's usually all men, right? So now Mac is going to hold it down for the men on this panel.